Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Brelat's first match in the low tier draft league. This is against a guy called AutoMatthic and his team Nijmegen Nuzleafs. If I cannot pronounce these Dutch cities, then so be it, because let me hear you say bad again. Either way, his team is pretty scary. Not gonna lie, he has a team of Ampharos, Chateau, Clefairy, Gabite, Glaceon, Rampardos, Radicate, Sandslash, Sceptile, Shuckle, and Wartortle. Now the first thing I noticed on the team is that his team is pretty... He has some very passive mons, and especially like Wartortle is like... I think Wartortle is his only like real check to Samurott, so I was like, he's got to bring that, and I was trying to kind of like counter that. Like if he brings some of those really passive mons, like for example Clefairy, like for example Wartortle, I can win with like a subset of some sort. So I did bring sub Oricorio. I also brought Banded Samurott. I brought the Wish, a Wish Odino with knockoff and stuff. I brought the good old Hast Findus with Stealth Rocks, and I brought Garbodor for some spikes, and I brought a Lurantis. Nothing too fancy really, and yeah. Did he end up bringing those really, what do you call it, passive Pokemon though? Let's see if it did. Okay, he did not bring any passive Pokemon. Holy shit. So yeah, like the good thing about his team is that it has no hazard removal unless Chatot has defog. Can it even get defog? Who knows? It probably does not have defog. And my game plan very early on is, okay, Oricorio is going to be really hard to win with, so I have to kind of win like a late game Samurott sweep of some sort, because his team is pretty weak to Aqua Jet. Nothing on his team really switches into Samurott really well. The problem is though that Samurott is slower than basically everything on his team. That was the game plan going into this. His team is really scary, and it's going to be hard to get up any hazards, to be quite honest. But I was going to try. I was going to lead Garbodor and well take it from there. He leads the scary Chatot immediately. I'll just stay in order to see what damage he does. He does a lot of damage, so I guess he's some sort of specs, because that did so much. I'm going to switch out into my Oricorio, because my Oricorio is a ghost type. He cannot even do anything to this. And I'm going to just double back into my Lurantis, the kiss in the eye, predicting this thing to come in. I just want to get rid of it. I don't really care about my Lurantis, because the only hazard he can get up is rocks. So I'm just going to stay in. He goes for Signal Beam, very smart prep on his part. But I'm just going to stay in, get rid of this thing. I don't need Lurantis in this match. It doesn't do anything besides beating this. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get rid of this thing, and you know, just synthesis up, because he's going to die from poison. Just getting rid of these Ampharos is going to make my day much easier, especially for something like Oricorio, in case I get like an Oricorio sweep later. He's going to go straight back into the scary little bird, and I'm like, I have very little switches. He just decided to go for Chatter. He kind of have to, because I do have Oricorio in the back, which just gets a free switch in every time this comes in. I'm going hard into Tufter. Tufter is my specially defensive mon. It takes it very well. Gets confused, unfortunately, and unfortunately I do hit myself in confusion. He switches into Radicate, as I am just gonna try to go for a knockoff, and I did pull it off and get rid of his flame up. So this is a Facade Radicate, another Pokemon that is really scary. However, I did have something for this. I did have a full Fizz Def Hast, and as you're gonna see, that Facade still does a ton. But either way, I'm gonna take this as an opportunity to set up my rocks. I mean, I am kind of risking a crit here, and I know he cannot. I know it's a 3-hit KO Facade with stamina. I do risk a crit, but he's pretty low, so I figured that was kind of okay play. He goes for Facade last time, as I'm just going to drop the Heavy Slam. No reason to, well, I'm just getting rid of this. As he switches in again the Chatot. Now I'm just going to keep my Hast as a sack and bring in Tufto again, because Tufto can pretty much take Chatot for days. If he goes for Boom Burst, I do get Oricorio in freely, so he can't go for that, as he goes into whatever this thing is, a Sceptile. As I do get a knockoff up, get off its focus sash. Again, a pretty useless knockoff, but we do get some damage off on this thing. I'm just gonna sack Findus here. Don't need it, but he goes for sword stance, and I'm like, oh no, don't do this. Going away from Findus and into Tor the Lord, basically sacking off Tor the Lord now. Because Tor the Lord has the ability Aftermath, and because I knew he could run Drain Punch to get back some health. I know that this is I still have a cold for some reason. I know that I can lower him to the point where an Aqua Jet is gonna finish him off, like easily finish him off. So I do bring in my CHIKI BRIKI, my Samurott, and his switching is pretty much non-existent at this point. His little thing goes down, and in comes a Gabite. I try to figure out which Gabite set this is, if it's some sort of SD set or something. He goes for Toxic, so I kind of guess this is a very bulky variant. Maybe it does have Rocks, as he's gonna switch out, I mean, because he doesn't want this his Gabite to get knocked off. I do knock off this though, and it is actually Choice Scarf, so that's really nice. Getting rid of that thing could have been a very big pain later in the game. And now I do sack my Mudsdale. Don't need Mudsdale anymore. But now his team is pretty darn low, so I can easily go in to my CHIKI BRIKI and just click Liquidation. He is not Choice Scarf anymore, and his switch into this is kind of limited. As we're gonna see, this thing is very defensively bulky. I am banded Samurott, and it did 32. A second Liquidation is gonna be enough to KO the Young Punishment though, so we do get rid of that. In comes this thing again. I am again switching into Odino, and as he actually goes for Boom Burst. Now here I'm gonna pause this a little bit, because here I do a little mistake, because I could have won this game. I could potentially win this game 3-0 is what I'm trying to say. I can easily say I've won this game either way, because Aqua Jet is going to kill both of this mon. He has switched in his Chatter twice, and one Aqua Jet does minimum 54. So I know he's going to die to Aqua Jet, no matter what. But I could have won much more easily. Instead, I do something really silly. As Poison is going to work. He's going to switch out. He actually predicts me to go Oricorio. Like, he doesn't really have any place to... I just go for Fire Blast. I just want to show off my tech. Like, I should have thought about differential here, because that might bite me in the ass later. But I didn't, and in comes this Chatter. He can click Chatter and kill my Odino. That was kind of unnecessary. But either way, CHIKI BRIKI comes in again and clicks the nice Aqua Jet, and that's the whole game. So what a nice win for Branat. Even though we could have won 3-0, it's still a win. And against one of the... I've seen this guy a little bit on YouTube, and he seems kind of experienced in this draft format. I was kind of happy I won. Quite happy I won, actually. And Samurott shows how good it can be. Choice ban Samurott basically just... Whenever this thing came in, it got a kill, and I'm really happy it actually worked out. So yeah, that was Branat's first game in the low tier draft league. Thank you to AutoMatthic and Nijmegen Nuzleafs. Yeah, that was a team name called. Thank you, Dane, for the match. GG, and I hope to see you next week. Bye bye.